Hi, hello everybody. This is Cheryl Abram, Person-Centered Cyber, and this is Security in the Black, Profitable Cybersecurity News. We got a lot of stuff happening out there, y'all. A lot of stuff is happening. Some really good things, and some people are clearly on some other-ish. Okay, but we're going to talk about it. Now, first in the news is us, okay? Person-Centered Cyber and the Navigators. So yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Friday. Friday, I participated in the, what is it called? Pivot into InfoSec Summit. It was really, really nice. The technology they used was really great too. I really like that. So for those of you who participated in that, and if you're here today, welcome, 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 welcome. So glad to have you here. And I hope that what we talked about really helped, and will give you some strategies and things to do to help you get into this field. Okay. And also in Person-Centered Cyber News, on my Patreon, I now have a group called Cyber Minds. Okay, for those of us who are looking for access and opportunity, all right? Because you can have 1,000 certifications on your resume, but if you don't have opportunity and access, it really doesn't mean anything. Okay, so this is about that. All right. Next in the news. Now, y'all know I go off of YouTube to find some really good news to talk about here. So this one is from Mr. AJ Yawn, and this was on LinkedIn. Now, AJ Yawn said, the easiest way to land a job or transfer into the cybersecurity industry is to have a personal brand. I agree with that. Now, the way he says to get it, okay, he gives 3 ways to get it. So he says, if you just got a certification, okay, any certification, even if it's your first one, you're just coming in, whatever, it doesn't matter. You need to post about it, blog about it, or make a video about it. Okay, and he says, even if you feel like, well, how the hell am I going to do that? Like, I'm new. What am I going to tell somebody else about the certification I got? He said, what you can do is, number 1, share the good and bad resources that you used, in your journey to get that cert. He also said, share concepts you learned. So if while studying for the certification, you really got something, like something really clicked with you, okay? He said, share that, and share it in a way where you're asking people who have been working with it for years, is this the right kind of interpretation? This is how I interpret it. I feel like I really get it. What do y'all think? All right, he said to do that. And even if it's something you did not understand, be like, listen, ports are giving me nightmares. I can't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Can you please, help me understand what this is, right? So he said, make a video, write about it, post about it, do something like that, because what that does is it helps you create your brand. Now, I like that, right? Because people want to see, okay, what else is going on? Like, you got the certification, now what, right? What can you tell other people about it? It's like learning out loud, right? You learn out loud, you see how you can help other people, and then how other people can help you, because people are always willing. They really are. I've noticed that people are very, very willing to help out. All right, so that was Mr. AJ Yawn on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, go check him out, Y-A-W-N. Sorry for his last name. Next in the news, Digital Empress. Now listen, I like Digital Empress because she likes to shoot the breeze. Okay, she does. She likes to shoot the breeze. And her video is called 10 Websites that will help you get started in cybersecurity. Now, because Digital Empress likes to talk, okay, I only got 5, child. Any other day, I'd have stayed and I'd have waited for the whole 10. But I only got 5 for y'all today, so y'all gonna have to go to her video and look at the rest. All right, so number 1, SentinelOne, they have an article called Everything You Need to Know to Get Started in Cybersecurity. It was okay. All right. Now, in the article, they talk about what jobs you need, the skills, how you need to gain experience, what certifications, whether or not you need a degree. It was an okay article. Okay. It was all right. All right. The second one, 50 cybersecurity titles that every job seeker should know about. This article was, first of all, it didn't reveal anything new. Okay, if you've been in the cyber field for at least 10 minutes, you know every single one that they have listed here, except one, okay, which I wrote down, cybersecurity Scrum Master. You don't see that around a lot, okay? But I totally agree. A Scrum Master, somebody who's really, really able to take on those agile projects and projects and get stuff done. That is sorely needed in this area. All right, number 3, Cypher.com. If you go to Cypher.com, you will see an article called The Must-Have Skill Sets and Certifications for Cybersecurity Careers. Again, this was not anything to, write home to mama about, but I wrote down a few of the things that they said. The first skill and skill set is knowledge of security across various platforms. All right, so security is not just on the laptop or the phone you're looking at watching this video. All right, it's across all kinds of stuff, wherever, anything that's smart, anything connected to the internet. Okay, you need to know about that stuff. The next one is communication, of course, fundamental computer forensic skills, and a desire to learn. You ain't going nowhere if you don't have a desire to learn in this area, okay? Number 4, computersciencenews.com had an article called Cybersecurity for Beginners, 50 resources to get you started. Hi, Professor Black Ops. I'm going to interview this killer Scrum Master. Yeah, Scrum Master is a great, it's a really great skill to have. Cybersecurity for Beginners, 50 resources to get you started. Now, this was actually a very good website. It was super comprehensive. It really was. So computersciencenews.com, it had all kinds of stuff on it. And it even had something about getting started in a non-technical background, right? Which I don't see a lot, so I was very happy to see that. And the last one, Digital Empress mentioned as websites that will help get you started in cybersecurity is Code Red through EC Council. Hi, ICS Gabe. How you doing? I've been waiting for you to put more videos on your channel. Please get some over there. Okay. I really like your videos. I do. So Code Red by EC Council. Now, she's an affiliate of EC Council, but so she showed some of the videos and, the things they have on there. All right, so y'all go subscribe to Digital Empress. She looks like a really, she's very knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable. She's got a whole bunch of stuff going on, books and websites and all kinds of things, okay? All right, next in the news, Blacks in cybersecurity. Yesterday, she's popping up on my screen. Yesterday, Dr. Wesley Phillips did a talk on the Blacks in Cybersecurity channel. He did a Linux workshop, hands-on introduction to Linux. It was Linux in the dark. Professor Black Ops, I saw you over there. I also saw Keep It Techie over there. He went through, it was a 4.5-hour workshop. So it was comprehensive. But it was for beginners. And, he had folks interacting on screen and stuff, which is always nice. He went over basic commands, navigation in Linux, Debian. He used a Debian system. Fun commands, like running the locomotive, installing and executing Pac-Man, like the game Pac-Man. He searched Wikipedia through the command line, and shout out to Keep It Techie for that video. That was awesome. And he went through surfraw. Surfraw, I believe, is the command that helps you to, what'd you say? Oh no, not Digital Empress. Is look, search on the internet for some stuff. Okay, so it was a very interactive session. Some people were on Zoom and some people were here on YouTube. All right, so that's Blacks in Cybersecurity. Y'all go subscribe if you haven't yet. They're doing amazing things over there. Hi, L Style. So glad to see you here. Next in the news is Keep It Techie. Now, yesterday let me stop saying yesterday. I had to write the dates here. A couple days ago, maybe. Episode 15, the name of the video is Tech Talk with Master IT. All right. I was able to be over there for the live session for a little while. So Master IT said his main goal is to get people employed. That's what he wants to do. He said a lot of his courses are purposed to lead toward various certifications. He's partnered with CompTIA, which he says is evidence that he is not full of shit. That's his words. He said that. And he said, what are you doing with your discretionary time? Okay. He said, do you want to be educated or do you want to be entertained? One of those is going to help you reach whatever your next goal is. Okay. And Keep It Techie asked a question. He said, should I study Security Plus 501 or 601 first? Which I thought was a very interesting question. Master IT, or Rob, his name was Rob, he said, go ahead and study 501 because there's a lot of material out there and you have thousands of people who've taken that. So if you're not sure whether to do 501 or the one that's just come out, go ahead and do this one. Plus 501 is going to be out here for you to take until July of next year. So that was his recommendation. And he also said he has 20% off discounts for veterans. Okay, so Master IT, he has a YouTube channel and a website. So go ahead and check him out. And also, if you're not subscribed to Keep It Techie, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Now, Keep It Techie also did a video on Disk Destroyer. Okay, how to use the DD command in Linux. And he says he uses this a lot when he creates live USBs. Now, I went through the video because it was very short, like a short video. So I went through it and I tried it and stuff. But I tried it with the Kali Linux on my Windows Kali Linux, right? So that shit just was not working. I don't know what the hell. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get the other version and try it out again. But that was a really nice video. I like Keep It Techie videos. They're very clear. Next in the news, this is a new one now, cyber spatial. Y'all, this was so good. This video was amazing. Okay, so the title of the video is Why Cybersecurity is Hard to Learn. Why cybersecurity is hard to learn. So he said that imagine somebody coming up and asking the question, what certification do I need to become a doctor? Or what course do I need to take to become a doctor? Okay, that sounds crazy as hell, doesn't it? Like, what course you need to become a doctor? What the hell are you talking about? He said, that's what y'all be sounding like. Talking about what course do I need to take first to be a cybersecurity professional? I'm like, man, you might be right about that. So he said that's a non-question. Like, that's not even a question. Okay. He said there is no course. There is no such thing as what course should I take to become a cybersecurity professional, or what certification should I get? He said there is no course. Cybersecurity is a journey. It is not a course. He said, plus, depending on who you ask, you're going to get a different answer based on their experience and what they do and what they know. He said the reason why cybersecurity is hard to learn because it consists of different fields and each with its own skill stack. Okay, each with its own stack of skills, tools, concepts, and they're all interrelated. Now, we know that, right? So he gave an example. He said, like, networking. In networking, you're going to learn IP tables, PCAP, OSI model, TCP, BGP, and switches, for instance. Of course, that's not all, but for instance, okay? Now, he said each one of those has its own skill stack. For example, for IP tables, you're going to get pre-routing, post-routing, forward, input, output, etc., etc., etc. All right. He's like, there's the whole network of knowledge within cybersecurity, and not just technical. Okay, it's too big. There's no way in the world you can ask the question, what course do I need to take to start in cybersecurity? That's crazy. Learning cybersecurity is like, will I get my black belt before I get arthritis? Right. And that's what he talked about, L Style. He said becoming a cybersecurity professional, a really good one, takes a long time. He said you got to change your mindset. It takes a long time to become a really good cybersecurity professional. He also said that, let me see, what you need to do is look at the entire skill network first. Now, I have not seen a really good skill network for cybersecurity. The best one I've seen is the NICE workforce framework. Okay, that's the most comprehensive one I've seen. But all this other stuff that's out there, the MITRE and all this, that's all about that one area, you know, that the framework talks about, the attack and defense and all that. Okay, so, and even the NICE framework one isn't as comprehensive as it could be. All right, so you know, I'm going to be working on that soon. He said, okay, first of all, look at the whole skill network. Number two, start off in 1 to 2 areas in which you concentrate before expanding to others. Okay, and he said, before asking, how do I learn cyber? So before you do that, what you need to do, discover available topics, learn how they connect, narrow down your scope of those that you're interested in. Now, of course, he's talking to people who got time. Okay, people who got time. You already got a job. You got, you know, time to look around and do all this, whatever you're doing. All right, that's you know. So he talked about 3 main ways to learn complex topics, the complex topics that are in cyber. The 3 ways are top down, bottom up, and project based. Okay, where top down, now he said top down, that's like when you pursue a specific certification. I'm getting my Security Plus. Now I'm just studying to get my Security Plus. Okay, just tell me what's on the Security Plus. I don't want to hear nothing else. I just need to know this so I can pass this damn test. Okay, now that's top down, he said. He also said this approach makes your baseline functions weak as hell. Now, he didn't say it like that. That's how I'm saying it. But it's weak sauce. Your baseline functions are weak sauce when you do it that way. And he also said, when you go top down, you cannot perform in real situations. Okay? When it's time to perform, you straight up can't because of the way you learn this material. He said, if you're going to do top down, the best way to do it is through an apprenticeship. Go ahead and get yourself an apprenticeship. If somebody will spend some time with you as an apprentice, you know, because that's another thing he was talking about. Folks ain't got time right now, but you're lucky if you find one. So go ahead and find one if you can. Y'all, let me tell you, I wrote a letter, and I believe I told y'all about this because for my Resume Plus class, okay? I wrote a letter to a company that it's a learning and development company that I've been looking at for a while, and I asked to be an apprentice. I'm gonna show you that email, okay? And I'm gonna put it on the Patreon too, because first of all, I got an email back from that, okay? Then I got a call, and I got a Zoom meeting set up to speak with the person. Now, I did not expect, like, I'm not really looking for an apprenticeship, okay? I mean, I have a job, and so, I mean, it would be nice. I'm not going to say no if they actually do offer to me, because it's awesome. Like, the organization is great. But my expectation was to be able to use this, what I was doing, this process, to provide to other people who are trying to get internships, to show, hey, listen, this is how I did it, and this is the kind of thing that can work for you too. El Style, you said getting your A+ and Net Plus does make Learning Security Plus a lot easier. Yeah, it absolutely does. It does. It makes it a lot easier because you're learning, all that stuff is related, right? Just like when I did the risk management framework, I'm like, why didn't you tell me this stuff when I was trying to learn Security Plus? Because that would have helped too. So, so the apprenticeship thing works. It can work. Okay, you just got to know how to do it. Bottom up. He said, bottom up is where you pick a subject, you break it down to the basics, you learn the component parts first. For example, he said, a boxer. A boxer is going to spend a lot of time just doing training and exercises to build up muscle memory, okay? Before you get to the skill-oriented stuff, right? So think of, what the hell is that show? Karate Kid. Y'all remember Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi was out there making Daniel, you know, paint the fence and wax the car and all that stuff. And Dad was like, dude, I'm not here for all that. I'm trying to learn karate. Hey, Keep It Techie, how you doing? But what he was doing, when he was painting the fence and waxing the car and, you know, wax on, wax off, all that, he was learning, building muscle memory, okay? He, you know, which is what bottom up is talking about, right? Go ahead and start with the basics before you get to the real, you know, skilled, hands-on type things, all right? He said that reading videos from active practitioners is another way to do bottom up. Vocabulary, looking at concepts. He said read a lot of books. Just get what, if you're trying to do some, what do you call it? Reconnaissance, let's say. Just read a whole bunch of books on that stuff. Look at a whole bunch of people who do that, all right? El Style, the boxer's jab is fundamental, but it's so important. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Oh, and he also mentioned, I think he's pronounced Anki, A-N-K-I flashcards. He said those are really, really good. I got to look into that. Yeah, he said, so use that to study when you're doing the bottom-up approach. And the last approach he talked about was project-based, okay, which is a combination of top-down and bottom-up. And he said with project-based, what you need to do is create a SMART goal, okay? Don't just say, I want to learn a hack, okay? That's not good enough. For project-based, you'll say something like, he gave the example, I want to learn to crack web encryption on my home wireless network by the end of the month, okay? That's a project-based goal. And then you just work to do that thing, okay? Which is what I'm going to do. I'm setting a project-based goal to learn Python. So he said project ideas normally fall in 4 categories: make things, break things, fix things, and know things. For example, make things, you build a computer. Break things, you infect it, all right? Fix things, you detect and remove, and know things is you write about it or you make a video about it, okay? That's a whole project-based project, okay? And again, like El Style said earlier, it's mindset. It's going to take you a long time to become really good as a cybersecurity professional, the same way it does for a doctor or a lawyer. That don't mean you got to wait till you, I mean, you can't, right? You have to start working at some point. But if I got to have open heart surgery, okay, and I have the choice between somebody who just finished a residency and somebody who's been doing it for like 20 years, okay, I know who I'm going to. Why? Because I trust that this person knows what they're doing. They've done the research, they've made mistakes, they've, you know, refined their craft and all that, okay? So I agree. It's going to take you a long time to learn how to effectively secure cyberspace, okay? It's going to take you a minute, which is okay. So again, stop asking, which doctor course should I take first? Okay? Because that don't make no sense. Which cybersecurity course should I take first? What the hell you want to do? Go look at the skills thing. Shoot. Okay. So that was Cyberspatial. Y'all go subscribe to Cyberspatial. They have some really good stuff on that channel now. I'm telling you. Okay. Cyberspatial. Very, very good. Next in the news. Professor Black Ops, you said I came from programming 10 years, DBA 5 years. Ooh. I got it out the mud. See, now you're seasoned, Professor Black Ops. We call seasoning. Okay, that's really good. Breaking into cybersecurity. This is where the title, "The Blind Leading the Blind," came from for this edition. Ciao. Okay, now the name of the video is CISO Talk Podcast with James Azar plus Naomi Buckwalter, 10/8/20. Okay, now many of them have that title. You got to get the date right though, 10/8/20. All right. Now these are, I've talked about breaking into cybersecurity before. These are a group of recruiters, okay, who recruit for cyber people, okay, to come in various organizations. They work in HR plus they're independent recruiters. They talked about the gap. They said there is a gap between recruiters, HR, CISOs, and applicants, okay? And this is why you could read 7.9 million articles about how we don't have enough people to fill these jobs in cybersecurity, okay? But you've got 500 people in a Facebook group talking about, I got my OSCP, I can't find work anywhere, nowhere. What the hell? Like, how does that happen? Okay, they said there's a gap. Now let me tell you, okay, so with recruiters, what are recruiters trying to do? What's a recruiter's goal? Okay, a recruiter's goal, now this is Cheryl, this is not them, okay, I'm gonna get back to what they were talking about in a minute. Now they did say there's a gap between recruiters, HR, CISOs, and applicants, but I'm telling you what the goal is for these people. A recruiter's goal is to establish a great reputation as a recruiter, okay? That's a recruiter's goal. They trying to get work. They want people to know if I hire this recruiter, they're gonna get me who I want. They want to establish good reputations, okay? They don't want to send organizations trash, people that don't work out. That's their goal. Now, what is HR's goal? Okay, HR's goal is to first get that announcement out when they're supposed to, and get a list of candidates to the hiring manager. Okay, because why? Because I want a good performance report at the end of the fiscal year or at the end of the year. All right, I want to get an outstanding or whatever. So I need to get this announcement out. All right, and I need to get the manager a list of people. That's what I got to do. What is the CISO's goal with this whole thing? Now, the CISO has a team. He or she has work. They want somebody on that team who knows what the hell they're doing, okay? Because guess what? What you do reflects on their performance plan. Okay, I need somebody in here who is going to do well, because that's going to reflect on my performance. Okay, you know that stuff rolls downhill, right? Okay. Now, what about the applicant? What about us, you know, looking for jobs in the cybersecurity field? What's our goal? Yeah, we want to work. We want to be fairly compensated. But I got bills. Okay, I got bills. I got a reputation. You know, I'm trying to make money. Listen, everybody has a WIFM, a what's in it for me. Now, breaking into cybersecurity is saying it's misaligned. Okay, that's why stuff ain't happening the way it needs to happen, because it's misaligned. All right, and let me tell you what they said. First of all, they talked about the job description. They said, now, what's the average amount of times that a job description is edited? One of the ladies said about 1, okay? Because she said, what seems to happen is that the hiring manager will either cut and paste a job description from somewhere else, or they'll just use what the last person in that position used, which may not be what this position needs right now. Okay. And the HR person, they're trusting the hiring manager to know this is the kind of person I need. Okay. So they're not really questioning, you know, anything on the announcement, you know. So that's where you're messing up the first time, okay? Because you're putting an announcement out there that doesn't even meet the needs of what, you know, the work requires. Okay, that's why you asking for these or you're cutting and pasting some shit from somewhere that doesn't even apply to what you're doing. Okay, so that's the first issue. Okay, and another recruiter said, now I like this person. This was the male on the panel. He said he can care less about college education because he is more interested in whether security is part of your life, he said. He wants to know, what are you doing with your discretionary time, which is something like Master IT said. He said, in your free time, what are you doing? Okay. Are you keeping it techie? Are you labbing all day? What are you doing? Are you watching all the Marvel movies over and over again? All right. What are you doing with your extra time? That's what he wants to know, because that's going to help him decide whether or not you're the person for this job, more than, you know, whether or not you got a bachelor's degree. Okay. He said college degrees are unnecessary and great candidates are eliminated because a degree is required as a primary qualification. And I have to agree with that. One of the recruiters also said that CISSP is not an entry-level certification. Now, I wasn't sure where that came from. I guess, I don't know. I thought you had to have, I don't know. They said it's not an entry-level certification. So apparently people were getting it, you know, and from what I asked Dr. Phillips about it, and he said that it apparently getting the CISSP was allowed, but they wouldn't like really give it to you until you had 5 years experience or something like that. But either way, the job announcement would say you must either have a CISSP or have whatever they call it when you just passed the test, which is two different things. Like, what the hell you want? Do you want somebody who actually has the experience or not? You know? Child, okay. So this was a really good discussion. Okay, they talked about a lot of other things. It was really nice. So go over, if you haven't already, Breaking into Cybersecurity. They have really great discussions on there, especially if you're looking for something. Okay, and they're really responsive if you type in the chat and ask a question and stuff. Style, you said if getting a gig in cybersecurity was just as simple as getting a job at Burger King. Well, yeah, absolutely. Cyber Wakanda. What is that, Professor Black Ops? What are you saying? What do you mean by that? All right, y'all. Next in the news is Blue Team Village. This looks like a newer channel, Blue Team Village. And I'm telling you, I tried. I'm your cybersecurity news lady over here. And as your news lady, I tried, but I couldn't make it through. That video was so damn boring. I could not listen. I'm just saying. I tried to watch, the title of the video was DC28, BTV, J Bovier, Jose-0365 squatting. That was the title. It was painful. But if you're a Blue Team person, please go over there, because they had like get rid of a virus with Excel spreadsheet. I mean, all kind of wonderful things. Okay. But what I did want to tell you, I can't give any commentary on the video because what I watched, I did not comprehend. Okay. But what I do want to say is that BTV, Blue Team Village, is having lightning talks. It's called Lightning Talks Gray Hat 2020. All right. And if you want to do a lightning talk related to anything about the blue team, about blue teaming, I put the link in the description of this video for you to go there and fill out the Google Docs form, okay, if you want to participate in that. All right, you'll participate on Discord, you have to join their Discord and all that stuff, okay? So go ahead and do that, and go look at the channel, okay? Because I don't want, you know, my ignorance to stop you from going to see, because, you know, they do have, the titles were nice. They had some good stuff over there, okay? I'm gonna have to try again once I get my blue teaming on. All right, that was Blue Team Village. Next in the news, the Cyber Mentor. Are y'all familiar with the Cyber Mentor? He has a video called Educational Barriers. Now, the Cyber Mentor, he's a very soft-spoken person, okay? Very, very soft-spoken. Seems like a really nice guy. Loves learning and education. You can just tell that he does. You know, you can really tell that he does. But he was hot. Okay, he was hot. He was not happy. He wasn't happy. But he was not happy in a very calm, cool, and collected way. All right, but I can tell, you know, he is not happy. So he said, apparently, and I went and I read the story. Hi, Dion. Hi, Dion. Yeah, he is awesome. He teaches very, very well. He is easily understood. You know, his material is great. He said, and again, I read the story, that INE, I forgot the acronym for INE, but they purchased eLearn Security. Okay. Now, I am familiar with eLearn Security. Okay. And I knew that they had their own certifications and stuff. He said now eLearn Security is turning into a platform based on subscription. That's not what they did before. All right. He said to get access to all the material on eLearn Security now, you're going to have to pay $2,000 a year. And he said there's no monthly option. You trying to pay a month, you have to get the hell up out of here, because they're not doing that. Okay, it's $2,000 a year, or you can leave. Is what they're talking about. He said this is a gatekeeping problem. That's what he said. It's a gatekeeping problem. Okay, and it's gone too far. He said there's already a gatekeeping issue with keeping good people out of the cybersecurity field. Okay. Now, he said when he first started, it cost him $1,800 to take the CEH, which is insane. Now, I don't think it costs that much anymore now, but you know, that's crazy. And he said for his OSCP, it cost $1,200 when he got that. And he said these people do not have your best interests at heart, okay? And not just these people. He talked about SANS and the redonkulous prices of SANS. Sir, SANS need to be ashamed of themselves. I'm saying this. SANS should be ashamed. How do they sleep at night? Okay, this is crazy for them SANS certification. Listen, he said, "What? You're not taking a global perspective. Everybody don't live in the United States. Everybody don't make $200,000 a year. Everybody don't have celebrity parents and all this. You know, you have talented people around the globe who it will take months to save up this kind of money for a certification. That is crazy." He said that he did a video some time ago where he listed his top 3 certifications. And the top one he listed was from eLearning Security. He said their certifications were affordable, realistic, and they were updated regularly, more than anybody else's. Okay, they were a small platform, but they were growing. Okay, and he really enjoyed what they were doing and how they were doing it. He said the PTS cert, which he says was like a get your feet wet in cybersecurity kind of certification, from e-learning security was $400 for the course, the labs, and the exam. All that, $400 for all that, okay? Now, you're going to pay $2,400 to get your feet wet. Ciao. He said this is an industry problem. It's a problem across the entire industry, this high-priced model. Now, he wasn't just up there, you know, complaining and stuff, you know, and I listen, I agree with everything he was saying, okay? He said, how do we prevent this gatekeeping? How do we do that? Okay, so that we, you know, we know that talent is needed here, all kinds of talent, not just the talent that can afford to be here, okay? All kinds of talent is needed. He said, number one, we need to change. So he was talking about himself, okay? And he said he needs to stop looking at certifications as a qualification. Y'all see this theme across these stories that I'm talking about today? Do you see it? That you don't need a certification, you don't need a degree type here. He said he's going to stop doing that. He will. What he's going to do, he's going to model his hiring practices after a company in Texas called Pretoria. He said what they do, you have to go on their website and there are challenges that you have to solve. And they say on their website, if you solve this challenge, you are guaranteed an interview. Guaranteed. He said that's what he's going to do. That's how he's going to start running his business. Okay? Because that's what it's about. Can you do the damn work? I don't care if you got a bachelor's degree. What can you do it? That's all we're trying to figure out. Okay? Now, because of this stuff, what he is doing, now I don't remember if I put it in my description, but if I didn't, go to his video. He just made this video October 21st, I believe. Okay? He is giving away his ethical hacking course for free. All right, you have to get the little code. It's right underneath the video. If I don't have it here, it's on his. Okay, go get that code. He's giving away his ethical hacking for free. And listen, he had on a shirt. Okay, his shirt said hacking at the top, and it was crossed out. The hacking was crossed out, and below it said security professional. I said, dude. And I asked him too. Y'all go look in the comments, see the comment I made about his shirt. Because y'all know I be talking about that over here. All right, that is the Cyber Mentor. All right. So go look at his whole video here, all the stuff he was talking about. It was really good. Hi, Diamond. So happy to see you here. All right. Next in the news, Professor Black Ops. Hey, Professor Black Ops. So Professor Black Ops has a video called Quick Hit, Free or Low Cost Education, Cybersecurity for the People Consumer. And he has an amazing link, okay, to free and low cost online cyber learning content. I went to this link and I scrolled for like 2 hours. I'm like, they had a whole bunch of stuff. They really did. A lot of good stuff on this thing. And it goes into career and professional development. There's stuff about it there. Educational training and curriculum, employee awareness, and K through 12 education and games. It's a really, I mean, it's not, I had never seen it before. Okay, so thank you for that, Professor Black Ops. That's a really great resource that I'm definitely going to go back to and take some stuff from. Okay. All right, now, again on LinkedIn, there is a gentleman named Joseph Perry who creates training, cybersecurity training on various things. Now, I listened to him and he made a really cool distinction. And I'm not sure if I don't know. I don't know if I've heard it, maybe the way he said it before. But he was talking about the difference between the red team and pen testers, okay? So you know, when I hear pen testing, I just lump them all together. Okay. But he was like, no, we're not gonna do that. Okay, we're not gonna do that. He said red team is not pen testing. They're different things. Red team is more holistic, and they're the scope of what they do is broader, and the scope of what they have to know is broader. Where pen test is like, okay, what applications are you using? What type of things you got going on? Oh, now let me check for vulnerabilities. You know, I'll do a nessus, and then after that, I'll see what more I can do. He said red team, a good red team. He said advanced persistent threats. Those kinds of red teams, they don't even get to that stuff. They don't care what kind of application you got. Okay. He said they don't even get that far. If they're really good, they're going to walk in the front door. Okay. He said that's the red team. All right. They're looking at who, not what application, what person. Okay. What over here? Before I even get to your IT, what can I do here to get to where I need to get? All right. He said that's the distinction. Pen testing is not red team. All right. And a good red team won't even get to the pen testing stuff. Listen, I'm telling you what he said. I did. It's not Cheryl Abram. What do y'all think about that? Is that I never made that distinction. I just, you know, but when he said it, I'm like, okay, I think I kind of see what's up here. Is that what y'all have heard, or have y'all heard something different? And if somebody wants to come up and give their opinion about that, I'm open to it, because I want to know. Y'all know I want to get red team and blue team on a panel. So now it looks like I need to get red team, blue team, and pen testers on a panel. Okay. But I'm curious. Like I had never looked at it that way. And I'm curious if what he said was, you know, accurate. All right. So that has been your security in the Black news. Professor, you said I work with red teams on site. We had them on site for 2 weeks. But is that distinction that he made, is that true? Like, is that right? Yeah, I really want to know. But that's y'all's news. That's everybody in the news. And I'm going to see what I can do about this barriers to entry, because I'm right there with the cyber mentor, with the, you know, making it hard for people who don't have certain things, or who didn't start in a certain place, you know, to really, hey, Ops.
Hey, this is Black Ops. How you doing? I want to chime in on the red team. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, come on, go ahead.
My fault. I'm at work working, and I just listening to you, supporting you. I actually work with red teams at DoD. We actually had them on site, actually in a room working. So we were actually allowing them to sniff our network. They were trying to see, because all our stuff's supposed to be encrypted. So pen testing just on the outside, looking at a few things. We had them in our office, right? So they're looking at stuff. Are you sending stuff in the clear? Can they pick passwords out the clear? So we make them, because we always make that assumption, like you were talking about the zero network. So we assume that hackers in our network, what can they see? Because if everything is encrypted, they shouldn't be able to see anything. So I'm gonna be careful how I word this. Our number one guy was leaving for a vacation, sent the password in the clear. They took our whole network.
Oh, wow.
So, but that let everybody know you got to be careful. You got to use the proper things. But no, they were in night, because, like you said, penetration, just some guys running some scripts. We had them in house, and they were actually digging in and trying to see what they can see, jumping on servers. We gave them low-level passwords, because we assume, you know, basic hackers can get on our network. So we gave them some low-level passwords to see what they could do. So that's what you mean, a holistic approach. And they got especially, they had a database guy, a network guy, a VMware guy. They had like 10 guys in this room, and they were just trying to get to stuff. So yeah, it's a much more holistic, much more deeper attack.
All right, so there is a distinction then. He was right about
that. Oh, it's a huge distinction. Yeah. Because usually when I think of pen tester, I see guys on Upworks, you can just pull some scripts down from QualSys and do some scans and do some
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability scans from the outside. You might get it in the network, you might not. A lot of times, red teams, I see them give them different level passwords. The first 2 days, we're gonna give you a low level password. The next day,
Yeah.
if you steal a DBA password, what could you do with it? So we want to see
Right.
what level of password, what damage could you do? So I see them
Right.
actually step up. So let's just say it's a much holistic approach.
So how is that different from threat hunting? Hi, keep it techie.
Threat hunting
Hey,
to
what's
me
up?
is threat hunting to me is you just looking. I'm not giving you anything, right? When I give you
Uh-huh.
the DBA password, like keep it tech is a DBA. If he loses his password and you're a DBA expert, what can you do with the DBA password? Can you look in the tables? Can you look at our SSN in that database? If you had a DBA
Hmm.
password, if you use Oracle, they have a thing even with the DBA password, they have those tables separated. So even
Right.
if you have the DBA password, you still couldn't see that data because the developers have it encrypted too. So you have to get the DBA and the developer and put those together, right? That's layers. So if you
Uh-huh.
threat hunting, you just looking for stuff. You're not focusing on one object.
Okay. All right. Keep it techie. What do you say?
Yeah, so I just want to, I guess, kind of add on to what Ops is saying. You know what I'm saying? As far as pen testers, really, I would say on the civilian side, from what I've seen, they're almost like contractors that come in to a whole bunch of different companies. They could be hired by any type of company or whatever. They'll bring them in and they'll test the network. And that's all they do is, and just like what Op said, just run vulnerability scans,
Uh-huh.
as well as try to penetrate. But the difference is they also look at the physical side as well. So physical security. They want to see if they can get badges or get
Yeah.
into certain secure areas that they're not supposed to be. So sometimes
Oh,
there is guys
Manchester?
that the pen testers, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes the only people that know the pen testers are there or
Uh-huh.
leadership or
Yeah.
somebody like high level or the director of IT. They know.
Okay.
And it's almost like the whole seeker shopper thing. It's basically, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm just using that as the example, you know what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
But to come in and just test everything, physical security, try to see if they can get in certain areas,
Mhm.
see if they can get into the server room, you know what I'm saying, and actually get physical access to the servers, like
Okay.
verifying that it has locks and all that stuff on certain equipment that you're supposed to have locked up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they'll go in and try to, I mean, depending on how what the company authorizes them to do, but they can come in and, you know, remove equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
The network administrator don't know, or
Yeah.
unhook some equipment or something like that, or
Uh-huh.
plug in a device, depending on, you know, how much permission they have to do
Right.
certain things. Not physically destroy the network, but
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, find those vulnerabilities and point them out.
Yeah.
So, and
Okay.
then a lot of times they'll give a report at the end, and like I actually interviewed for one of these types of positions. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have enough security background. They seen that I had that security plus, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't have much security background. That's why I didn't get that position. But based on what I was told during the interview, that they fly around the country and just test different networks, you know, a lot of
Oh,
times for
I got,
vulnerabilities.
I got a
Yep.
story to
yeah.
add on. Keep it techie. I know a guy that actually does that. He said what he does is people are so nice. He comes dressed up as an exterminator, and he has like the exterminator cans, and people just hold the door open for him. He'll just come in. Then he have a
Yeah, that
fake
tailgating.
Yeah, he'll have a fake requisition order and just tell the admin that the CFO told him to come in because they saw rats and they need to get them done because it was going to be a finding and they could shit down. He said 50% of the time they just let him in the server room with no escort because people trying to
Wow.
be nice. So like
Yeah.
he said, and
Yeah.
that's what they do from the physical side. He said that works like 50% of the time. And
Yep.
Bet.
I was doing a software assessment of this vendor that does uh, school payments, and he told me they never let tailgaters in. And as I was standing in the doors, the smokers were tailgating, and I just bust out laughing. He made them all go back outside and come in one at a time. I just told him, don't even worry about it, man. That's not a big deal.
Right.
Their security was top notch, but they were a little light on the tailgate. It was just funny. He was so mad. He turned red. I was like, man, it's cool. I could see all their badges in. They knew each other, so I wasn't going to like ding them. But he's like, oh, we would never tailgate. Then I'll come in from smoking in the courtyard all in back to back. Go ahead, keep it tech. Yeah, I interrupted you, man.
Oh no, you did. Nah, that's all I wanted to add though, man. I appreciate you letting me on, Cheryl, and because I'm actually cooking some gumbo right now, but I I keep listening in the chat.
I
What's
did
up?
not know you were from Louisiana, dude. I
Yeah.
am too.
Yeah, I know. I heard you a while back. I think I said something in the chat at that
Yeah.
You did.
time.
What
But
part are you
yeah,
from?
I'm from Baton Rouge. Yeah, I
Okay,
grew
I'm
up
in
in Baton
Terrebonne
Rouge.
Parish, but yeah, I'm in
Okay,
Homa.
Keep it
So
okay.
you
techie.
know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Keep it techie. Like you said, now that he mentioned it, I've never seen a red team in commercial because I do a lot of
hmm
federal work. I'm never, like
Yeah.
Tilly mentioned that, I've never seen a red team in commercial. And I worked at a big medical company, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, and we never did a red team. All the times I did red team, I was at a federal site working, like he said. I did a Navy job like he was doing. I
hmm
was paying civilians, and those are the big the
That's
federal
a,
jobs. Because I think part of NIST documentation, I think you need to do red team, or at least penetration, once every 2 years.
Well, see, I thought that whole and I agree with you. I just thought that whole red team, blue team thing actually came from the government anyway.
It did.
Because
It did.
blue team is basically defense,
It is.
and it's kind of what the NSA does.
It is. It is.
They're being defensive of
Mhm.
the network of the U.S. and then the red team is being offensive, and that's where the whole cyber warfare stuff comes in.
yeah.
They create stuff to go out and do certain things to other governments. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So you might want to look into that, Cheryl. And then also, like you'll see an example of that. I don't know if you ever seen the movie about Edward Snowden.
that was a good movie, man.
He actually did that. He actually worked on based on the movie, and the movie is supposed to be based on what actually happened and how he actually worked. But I think he worked on a blue team or a red team, and they showed that concept in the actual movie when he actually at the end when he was about to steal the stuff that he stole
Yeah.
in Hawaii. Because they do have a site in Hawaii,
They do.
and the only reason I'm saying it because it's in the movie, it's public.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
they
was
do
gonna say,
have
yeah.
a site in Hawaii where they
Be careful. Be
run
careful, keep it
ops.
techie. You're gonna
Oh,
get us on the
yeah.
radar, man. You're gonna get us on the radar.
I mean, it's in a movie. Everybody should know. You know what
I'm joking.
saying?
I'm joking. But you
Yeah.
gotta be
Corey's
careful
on
now.
it. Yeah. Corey's on it.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna
I
have to
haven't seen that.
disavow. I'm a disavow keep it techie now. I don't know him. Nah, but keep it techie, you're right. But I think a lot of stuff originates from the government, then it filters down to private sectors because they have the money. They spending big money. I worked on an $800 million system. People end up putting on the shelf, man. We worked it for 10 years and put it on the shelf. So they got that big money like that. Don't say that. I ate
Right.
well on that, Cheryl. Don't be saying, oh my God, that's how I'm fat. I ate well on that project, boy.
Hey, but I'm gonna drop off, guys. I'm gonna drop
All
off
right.
though. Y'all
right,
have a good
thank
one. I'm
you.
gonna be listening though. No
I'm
problem.
about to drop
All right.
off too. I just want to jump on that one comment, Cheryl. But yeah, the red team's different. Like I said, we gave them different levels. A lot of times they do usually let those people in house and give them different levels of access, like the hackers on there, to figure out if you got this person's credentials or this level of credentials. Low
Okay.
level web admin, DBA, sysadmin, batch jobs. What could you do with that? Because a lot of times, like you said, we think about that as red team, blue team, but we kind of in our own bubble. When you bring somebody out from outside, especially a professional, they coming in with different ways to attack. Like one dude dumped our memory. We're like, dude, we never think about encrypting the actual memory in the program. So, you start.
Yeah.
So they have you think in different ways.
That's good. Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
got
thank
anything
you,
else,
Professor.
Okay, I'm going to drop off unless you need me to jump back on.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, that was awesome. Thank you guys for doing that. That was great. Corey said he saw the movie. I'm gonna have to see that movie. Cost has been the main thing that holds knowledge away from me. I work with red teams on site. We had them on site for, okay, that was Professor Black Ops. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today for Security in the Black. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do that. And please like or dislike the video, depending on which way you go. It's all feedback, okay? And I appreciate it. So y'all have an amazing evening, and I will see you back here next time, okay? Bye-bye.